podcast. Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to Podcast First Play, episode 10. It's Friday! Woo! Woo! I'm Cal, and that boutique of a long-legged goodness straight out of an Ann Summers catalogue is Jan.
Yes, it is.
See, you had your intro this week.
Brilliant, I like it.
Yeah.
Do that again. Yeah.
So yeah, we want some news. Yet more news on the upcoming Man of Steel 2. When asked who his favourite character was, Henry Cavill, aka Superman, answered Doomsday, because of the spectacular storyline that follows. That was one of the first books I read, and it just really, really caught me, and I just loved how Doomsday was Superman's match. Yeah, you might be thinking that that's not really big news, but, Daniel, my son,
Yeah.
we have more news. Jason Momoa, who played Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones and Conan in the recent Conan the Barbarian reboot, which was pretty wank, is currently in negotiations to appear in Man of Steel 2.
Yeah. Now there haven't actually been any confirmation as to what role he's going to be going for, but there is a lot of speculation that possibly could be the Martian Manhunter.
Well,
Now, that I would like to see.
I did originally think Martian Manhunter, especially, there's been a lot of comparisons since this news came out, but a Hollywood Reporter shared the following quote: "It's unclear who Momoa will play due to the kryptonite lock on the project's deals. There's been speculation that the movie's villain could be Doomsday, a Kryptonian scientifically engineered into an intergalactic killing machine. Doomsday famously killed Superman in the comics, which became a media event in 1992. However, the character's existence is even hinted in the extras of the original Man of Steel Blu-ray. The source speculated that if Warner is populating the movie with members of the Justice League, though, Momoa could also play the Martian Manhunter, a superpowered alien trapped on Earth. Momoa, with his muscular physique, could be a fit for either character."
Yeah, I was going to say if you look at him in Conan, then you just picture that in green. That's basically exactly what he looks like.
See, now, physically, I think he's a lot more, as you say, he's a lot closer to Martian Manhunter, but the extra in the Man of Steel Blu-ray, basically, it's just a picture that says, "Beware Bertrand's curse, for he is named Doomsday," which, to me, kind of like spells out a follow-on, and, Doomsday is a pretty fucking awesome villain. I think he'd be very hard to do on the big screen.
Yeah, but the thing is, a character like Doomsday, that is something that you would need the Justice League for, so that would be a perfect character for the enemy for a Justice League film, rather than just throwing him into a Man of Steel. Well, to be fair, the Man of 2 sequel is basically just the Justice League prequel.
Well, it is, but it kind of does dull the way for, you got Batman, Wonder Woman, possibly Flash, obviously Superman as well. So I don't see the point of having Martian Manhunter in there without a villain. This using Doomsday would also obviously pave the way for Lex Luthor, because Lex Luthor is one of the he's a part of the story for Doomsday. So that does make sense.
Yeah, but it seems to be the wrong way around, because if this film, with the amount of work that's going into it, it would make more sense for this is a prequel to build up to another film we're going to do, and it's probably going to have more of the Justice League, or at least bigger roles for everyone in it, and it's not just going to be for the Man of Steel, it's going to be Justice League. So it would make more sense for them to go up sort of against each other for a bit, and then suddenly Lex Luthor comes on the scene, and they've all got to team up to take him down in his evil plots.
Why would they?
And then
they wouldn't
in the
need
next
to team
one,
up, though. They wouldn't need to team up to take down Luthor.
Well, he's still a genius. He's always got some kind of plot going on.
Superman can destroy planets.
Yeah, but he's Superman. He's not. So if that's the lesson he's learned from the first one, if anything at all, is that he's not going to kill ever again. He's never going to cross that line again. So even someone as maniacal as Lex Luthor could be, he still wouldn't cross that line, which means that he could be a reoccurring bad guy. Again, in another film maybe, but Doomsday just seems too big to throw in there.
Zod was a reoccurring villain, and then he just snapped his neck.
Well, yeah, but you can't really have a disposable villain, really, can you? You can't just say, well, we'll just kill him and that's it. Because it's not very comic booky.
Well, people die all the time in comic books and then they come back.
No, but it's not really the super golden boy heroes. They're not the ones going around murdering everyone.
See, this is why they need to have Green Arrow. Green Arrow.
I would much prefer Green Arrow in there. Simply for the fact that he's got his own TV show now. It would make more sense to have Green Arrow in there than Wonder Woman.
Spoilers if anyone hasn't watched this week's episode of Arrow, but the Flash makes an appearance in, well, kind of, it's more of a reference, just a guy who, kind of gives off a short little story about basically how something happened and then he blinked and then he was somewhere else, like, really quickly and stuff. And his name was Barry Allen, and blah blah blah. But at Comic-Con, Stephen Amell, who plays Green Arrow in obviously the series Arrow, hinted at a Justice League team up basically, and maybe he might be in the Justice League film as a Green Arrow.
That'd be interesting.
I'd enjoy it because he does make a really good Green Arrow. I'm a big fan of the TV show. And with Flash popping up in the TV show, there's no reason why the two of them can't jump the bridge and kind of bring like the big screen and the small screen DC universe together.
Well, that's true, but I mean, in Smallville they had Aquaman, they had Cyborg, and Green Arrow, and all the basically apart from Bruce Wayne, they had basically all of the Justice League at one point or another, and then none of them ever came through onto any of the DC films.
That's true, but Smallville went downhill pretty quickly.
Well, it did. I mean, we won't even discuss the sort of final episode because that was just bullshit.
No. I mean, I was a big fan of Smallville, but I kind of lost interest. I can't remember what season it was. It kind of lost it for me, but I don't think they're incarnations of like the likes of Aquaman and the Green Arrow, and I mean Tom Welling did make a really good Superman and Clark Kent.
He did.
So him aside, the other characters that ended up jumping in, I don't think would have taken well to the big screen.
I don't know. I think Michael Rosenbaum from Lex, he would have made good.
I think he would have made a brilliant Lex Luthor. I think he'd have made a brilliant Hitman, but that's a different conversation for a different time. But whereas Stephen Amell's Arrow, I think he would fit in perfectly, especially with the tone of these new DC movies, like with the likes of Nolan's Batman and even the latest Man of Steel film. Is a lot darker than previous Superman films. Sorry.
Yeah.
And Stephen Amell's version of the Green Arrow is for a TV show that's on at like 8 o'clock at night is really dark, and I think he would transcend to the big screen really well. He's not the best actor in the world, but even still, he does pull it off, and he plays a really good Green Arrow, and he plays a really good Oliver Queen.
Yeah,
and he's gorgeous, so
bonus for everyone.
Exactly, everyone's a winner. But this, I can't help but feel, I mean, we said this on the last episode, that Man of Steel 2 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 both seem to be just chucking characters in from all directions.
He's literally just sort of going through the records and say, who can we put in? Who we've got access to that we can put in without causing any legal issues? And they just go, right, we've got this roster here, put half of them in this one. If it does well, we'll do another and stick the rest in.
Yeah. But the worst of it is, though, this is Affleck's first appearance as Batman, and no matter how good he is, if Man of Steel 2 is shit, he's going to be tainted with it. No matter how good he may be as Batman, it's not going to go down well, and it's pretty much been confirmed that he is going to have a solo Batman film after this.
Yeah.
And it's all right.
I know exactly how it's going to be. It's going to go. People will say, "Look what he did to Daredevil. Look what he did to Daredevil. Look what he did to Man of Steel 2."
Yeah.
And again, it's not all him, not by any means, but it's because he's the scapegoat.
No matter what anyone says, Affleck. I mean, he's not. He wasn't my ideal choice. I've got over it now. I've not got a problem with him playing Batman, but he isn't a bad actor. And no matter how good of an actor he is, though, it's always going to come down to the director and the writer. If it's a shit script and it's it's like poorly directed, it doesn't matter how good of an actor he is, it's still going to be turd. So it needs to be good on all levels. It needs to be stupidly well directed. It needs to have a killer script, and then obviously whoever's playing the respective character needs to act it well. And
which is why you'd assume that they just sort of keep it short and simple. The first time you want to put Batman and Superman together, keep it at that.
Yeah, that would
keep
be
it
fine.
at that. And then people go, wow, that actually worked really well. Ben Affleck did a brilliant job. I don't quite understand it because it's Ben Affleck as Batman, but he really did it. And then, if you want to go all out and throw all your Justice League in there with Doomsday, do it in the third one. When you've established that they work together on screen and it works well. I mean, not just go, fuck it, we'll just throw them all in to save some time, save some money.
Man of Steel was by no means perfect, but Henry Cavill did a decent job as Superman and as Clark Kent as well. But he was given that option to play those roles, and then like basically what we've just said is Ben Affleck's come into it. He's got all this massive burden on his shoulders, but he's not going to get that much time. The director's not going to spend that much time with him because he's got Henry Cavill. He's got all these new characters that are being chucked in there, and that's why the Avengers work so well, because they all had their individual films. We knew how they were. We knew what made them tick. We knew how well they gelled together, and it just kind of like, if you look at it on paper, it was just kind of chucked together. But because you had all that history, it just worked. Whereas this has got one film before it that had nothing to do with any of the characters that are in it.
Yeah, and then all of the other character films that have taken place before that, it's also got nothing to do with any of them, and it doesn't feature the same people. Exactly. So it's just brand new. It doesn't matter how many films they've had previously. As soon as you put a new person in that person's place, that's it. That's start again. And then you've got two people who are relatively new to the whole sort of superhero thing, and then you want to throw everyone else on top of them as well.
Yeah.
It's just going to be so bogged down. It's just, I don't know. It's starting to get to me now. I mean, the Batman Superman thing. They announced that, people lost their minds. They went brilliant, and then they went, well, we're going to have Ben Affleck as Batman. I went,
saying
okay.
That though, have you seen the picture of him coming out the gym in his Batman t-shirt?
Believe it or not, I don't keep an eye on the gyms and see who's coming in.
No, I wasn't there when he came out.
Of course you weren't.
With a camera.
Yeah.
Some tissues.
Following Arrow around, yeah. Wouldn't put it past you.
Not Arrow, Ben Affleck. You tit.
No, you said he looked beautiful. Oh, forget it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. But Affleck's come out of the gym or something. He's got like a grey Batman t-shirt on, and the dude is ripped. I don't know if this has got anything to do with Man of Steel 2, but
well, I should bloody well hope so.
He's bigger than Bale was, much bigger than Bale was.
All right. The squeaky look, squeaky look. Fucking Nora.
Yeah.
Okay, he's looking pretty fucking ripped.
Dan's just seen the picture of Ben Affleck.
Bloody hell. That does not look like the geeky guy from Chasing Amy. Fucking me.
That gives me a lot more hope, I must say.
Especially the thing is that he's just beefy now.
Yeah, but look at Batman in The Dark Knight Returns. How big he is in that.
Yeah, true.
And obviously this is loosely based on that. Well, at least I thought it was. Now it just seems to be nothing to do with that at all.
Well, that's fine.
But
that's quite impressive. I'm glad that he's taking it seriously. I reckon it's just because everyone's hated on it, and he's just gone, you know what, fuck you all, I'm going to make this absolutely brilliant, and you're going to come around and suck my dick.
That's it. He's saying that though, and then he clicks on to Yahoo News or whatever, and then he sees like Jason Momoa is going to be in Man of Steel 2.
Yeah, like, right, back to the gym.
Wonder Woman's been cast in Man of Steel 2, and he's like, no, I've worked so hard.
This is going to be shining glory.
Well, this is what really not so much bugs me, but I can't quite get my head around is it came out as Man of Steel 2. It was going to have Batman in it. Everyone went off like you say, went off the tits. They used the quote from The Dark Knight Returns, and then everyone was dead happy about it. Then they said Ben Affleck's going to be Batman. They're like, oh, no, ruined it. And kind of people just getting their head around it. And then they say, oh, Wonder Woman's going to be in it as well. And then it was like, oh.
They keep hitting you with like this devastating news, and then people recover from it, and then they go, yeah, we're also going to put Wonder Woman in as well. And people go, oh, for God's sake, stop it.
And it's possibly it's going to be Doomsday, or it's going to be Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
possibly
that's all going to calm
Flash
down again, and they're going to go, we're going to put Halle Berry in as Catwoman again. And they go, oh, God!
But the worst of it is, we go through all this, and then it comes round to, yeah, well, Ben Affleck's going to be shit, though.
Yeah, if everyone else fucks up and he just looks big, and he's just like, fucking Ben Affleck, I knew this was going to happen.
He spent too much time in the gym, he didn't learn his lines. You idiot. But no, in all honesty, I know it's not really much to go off, but just seeing how much effort he's put in, if this is indeed for Man of Steel 2, that does give me a bit more confidence in him. The fact that he's taken the Hugh Jackman approach, and he's just throwing himself into it. And
yeah,
it might not.
I can't imagine him doing it for any other reason. Because I mean, he's always been sort of like not trim, but he's been sort of well kept anyway.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, as soon as now he's Batman, everyone goes, fuck Affleck. What the he looks nothing like a Batman should do. And now he looks like this. It's just like, well, that's the only reason he could possibly be doing it.
Plus.
So that impresses me. I'm quite glad that he's saying, fuck you all, this isn't just another role. I'm really taking this seriously. I'm going to make sure that, Christian Bale isn't going to be the best Batman forever. I'm going to try and take that. Yeah, oh yeah, very good.
Dan's secret puns.
Oh yeah, good.
But Kevin Smith, who's like one of the biggest comic book nerds ever, has seen Ben Affleck in the suit. They showed him the suit first, like a picture of it, and he was like, on his blog, he said like it was amazing. He said this suit has never been done on the big screen before, and then he saw a picture of Affleck in the suit, and he didn't even say anything. He went and found Affleck in the gym or in his shop, where the fuck he was, and he just hugged him and said thank you. So
the Adam West suit.
I've got a sneaky feeling it's going to be. I was just going through all the Batman comics I had, and then after looking at it, I just thought, look, we're going to Google. I'm sure someone's done a picture of every single costume, but
Affleck's face on it. Yeah.
The only one really that come to mind that hasn't been done on the big screen is the suit from Long Halloween, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Either that one or the Brave and the Bold type suit. It's like blue and grey.
Yeah,
like,
but
similar to Adam West.
If they're trying to reinvent him for this new crazy Superman universe where he's going around breaking necks, then maybe they've just gone, well, we don't need someone to tell us what the suit looks like and take it from the comic. We're going to make our own. So it's not going to be quite as practical and tactical as Christian Bale's was, where it was like disused military utes, like a Kevlar bodysuit, and instead it's going to be a sort of custom made, fashioned, and it's going to be perfectly sculpted to him, but it's going to be useful, but it's not going to be like a tactical design. It'll be like a hero design, or it'll be something that's more aesthetic rather than practical.
So
they've got free reign on it. Well, yeah, it's just, hopefully with a better fucking reveal. But it's just like they took, you know exactly what Chris Reeves' Superman suit looked like, and you know what the comic book Superman suit looks like. And then you look at the one in Superman Returns, and it's made out of like little S's and stuff. And then you look at the new one, and it's sort of like, it's like a weird thing where like everything's got to be like perfect. I like it, because I mean like the Amazing Spider-Man suit is obviously like made out of tiny little octagons.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be more strength and all that sort of
it's
stuff.
It's not only that though; it looks like.
It looks cool.
It looks like the web weaving.
Yeah, exactly. It looks, which makes it even more inconceivable that he's actually made it himself.
Yeah.
But it just looks as a costume, it looks amazing. So I reckon they're just going to go free reign on it. I don't think they'll just sort of stick with something that's already in place.
The one thing I'm pretty certain about, and obviously there's a good chance we're going to be proven wrong. I think
we never get proved wrong. No. Don't worry about it.
I think the ears are going to be a lot smaller than they have been in any of the other films. Purely going off the Dark Knight Returns suit.
Yeah.
The cowls, the ears on the cowl are much, much smaller.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at, like, is it Keating's suit?
Yeah.
From the first Batman, they're just massive.
They're like 8 feet tall.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I'm hoping that rather than just, because it's never been done in the way that I like it, but he's never been shown. He's the world's greatest detective, and it's never been really shown. He does a few things with a bit of gadgetry, but that's never explained. He's just got it, or Fox sorts it out for it.
I don't think this will be the film to
No,
answer
but that's
that.
the thing. But if it was just Superman and Batman, that would be him using his brain to try and beat this guy. But because everyone else is going to get chucked in it as well, he's just going to fight him in a suit, isn't he? He's just going to make a suit that can beat him. That's what it's going to be.
As is the case of Dark Knight Returns, where
Exactly, yeah.
obviously
You've basically got Iron Man's Hulkbuster armor.
yeah, and it is on par with how he does it. I don't know, but it's on par with Superman's strength. But
Yeah.
Superman never fights Batman at full. He always holds
No,
back.
he's not fighting he's fighting to stop him from attacking him.
Yeah.
That's it. He's not like, right, this is it, me and you to the death. It's just like, I'm taking you in, and then he'll hit him with a car, and he'll go, right, okay, don't do that again.
I'm
You
warning
know what
you.
I'm here for.
Bruce.
I'm not going to do this again. And he'll
Bruce.
electrocute him, and he's just like, stop it now, come on.
It's like a child. It's like, Bruce, but don't you pick that car up, right?
Don't
If
you throw that car at
If
me.
you chuck that car, no, right, right. That's it now. On the naughty step.
It is, that's exactly what it's like. But I mean, the practicality for building a suit that can match that sort of strength is, I don't even know. I mean, Tony Stark, I can get how he can make all these crazy Iron Man suits, because he's like a cybernetics, robotics, electronics genius.
Even he couldn't make a suit that would
No, I agree.
overpower
Absolutely agree.
Superman, because they don't know how strong he is.
Yeah, I mean, on what parallel have they got? And how can you make a power source strong enough to... It would need to be like 10 times the size of any person that would be in
If
it.
that was the case, they'd be able to control the Hulk.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Hulkbuster armor never worked. That was
No.
the fucking problem with it.
I mean, he made like that weird armor that he made to battle Magneto. It was like basically made of wood. But no, there's no. I mean, they can say, well, you know, Superman can chuck a car a million feet in the air, so let's just base the power off that. That might not be his full strength.
Well, yeah, it's just like, well, when he hits someone, they fly across the room, so that's how strong he is. He's got the strength of 10 men. No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
No, he bloody hasn't. If he hits you as hard as he can, you explode. That's the basis of it.
And I can't see how, like, it's Superman versus Batman. Batman's made this suit, you know, the fighting and stuff. That's where I can't see where it gets to the point where Superman goes, this is too strong, I'm going to have to call in Martian Manhunter and Wonder Woman. I can't take down Batman on my own.
See, I think they'll try and solve it with some horrible way, like they did with the Incredible Hulk, and they had like this like sonic weapon, and it was just sort of deafening him, and then he was just like, oh god, and then he just threw something at the fucking thing and blew it up, and that was it.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing they could sort of say, well, if we surround him with this, and maybe we could control him. So maybe something that like something that just blows Kryptonite's fucking atmosphere in his face, something like that.
What? That's another thing that they haven't really addressed is obviously Kryptonite isn't a literal object in this Man of Steel universe. It's the atmosphere of the planet Kryptonite. Batman wouldn't know that.
No, no one would.
I mean, I'm going to take. I mean, I said this on like the original Man of Steel podcast, which was like episode 1 or 2 or something.
2, I think it was. Yeah, 1 was Last of Us.
Oh no,
Christ, I can't even remember.
Other way round. 1 was
Yes,
Man of Steel,
yeah, it might have
second
been,
was
yeah.
Last of Us.
Yeah.
Where my speculation is Lex Luthor will somehow make this Kryptonite thing, but the only person other than Superman that knew about this was
Right.
Lois Lane.
And I don't think she'd be selling him down the river.
No, I very much doubt it. Unless they kind of devise some kind of red kryptonite and he goes up his tits and they're like, well, there's got to be a way to defeat him. Which,
I don't know. It'll come down to fucking chemistry or something like that. They just come up with some crazy. Just throw this on him and he'll just pass out.
Yeah, just chuck salt on him. He'll dissolve. But I am still excited for it. Mainly
the fact that we're still talking about it is clearly proving something.
Well, no, we're talking about it because the news of Jason Momoa possibly being cast in the movie. But
yeah, but that's not necessarily. I mean, if he's already had his own lead, you know, that he's not going to be a background character.
It's not quite the same as like Jill. Who's playing Wonder Woman? I can never say her name. Gal Gadot. I can
Miss
never.
Israel or something.
Yeah, I can never.
A model.
I'm not even sure we're saying her name right, but
I don't care. She shouldn't be in it in the first place.
Well, she's pretty hot, but
well, hot as she is, that's.
She's no Lucy Lawless.
You need to calm down about Lucy Lawless.
She'd be perfect.
She would though.
She'd be amazing. But we've already said, I'd be happy with it just being Batman and Superman, and then throughout the whole film they make references to Martian Manhunter and Wonder Woman and Flash and Green Arrow and stuff, but they're just references that
they did that in the X-Men and that worked fine. Exactly. When it was just like Hank McCoy just on TV and stuff. Yeah. That was fine, that's all you need is a reference.
However,
because the people who know about this sort of stuff, they'll see it and go, haha, nice, see what you did there, very good. That's all you need to have. Like
we did with the when we saw like the Wayne Enterprises on the satellite and stuff, and LexCorp on that thingy van.
Yeah.
But the thing with the X-Men one, it was X-Men 1, wasn't it, with Hank McCoy on the TV? He was just a normal guy. But in First Class, by that point in time of X-Men 1, he would have already turned into Beast. Even I know they're not actually linked as a series, but he would have been.
Yeah.
But no, just chuck them in. Some people will get them, some people won't. And then on the next film, when they bring out like Wonder Woman, and it's in the news and stuff, and they go, oh yeah, but if you missed it, this was there was 3 references in the last film, and then you go, oh actually, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that the people who don't see it or don't get it, they won't care.
Yeah, because it's just another film now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like chucking it all in at one go.
Because I mean, like things like, you know, when you've got like Superman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, they're basically like god figures, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're just like I mean, Avengers, they had it fine. The Hulk was there, this indestructible guy, but he was just a tank figure. They just said, right, go and smash that up, and he went, all right, and that was all he did. He didn't have any kind of real play in it.
That universe is full of superhuman powered people. The DC universe is full of Batman.
Yeah, and like people who are just very well trained.
Yeah.
And that would make more sense in a sort of, you know, if you want to go for this whole, you know, Nolan realism kind of thing, that makes more sense. But to have like, if you put Wonder Woman with Martian Manhunter and Superman, what enemy are they all going to be going up against at the same time?
Doomsday.
Exactly. So why would you do it in the second film?
There's no...
Just see my point. It just doesn't make any sense to go this... If you're just touching on the boundaries of a DC mashup film, don't go all out on the first one. For God's sake, don't do it.
This might be a ploy.
If it is, they're doing a good job of it.
It's like that kind of... It's like Microsoft PR.
That's the worst insult I think I've ever heard.
Let's tell everyone exactly what they don't want to hear. And
get everyone really outraged by it, and then just go, fuck it, well, it's just Batman.
Yeah.
That's it. It's Ben Affleck just playing all the roles. Come and see Man of Steel 2. Ben Affleck is wonderful.
It's not even a DC film. It's just a film about Affleck just trying out costumes in his back garden.
Yeah, that'd be... or just Man of Steel, it's just a Wizard of Oz sequel. And it's just all about the Tin Man.
Ben Affleck is the Lion and Henry Cavill is the Tin Man. And
that'd be brilliant if Man of Steel 2 was actually Iron Man 4. Which is like, well, it's not actually steel, it's titanium alloy. Brr.
That's uncanny.
Yeah, thanks. I did some of the voiceover work.
I know. I received the paychecks by accident.
What?
Nothing.
Alright.
But no, on that note, we're going to wrap this up because Me and Dan, we've got things to do. We can't stand it. We can't sit here We can't sit here talking to you lot all night.
Well, I might.
Yeah, might do. To be fair, there's not much going on really.
No. Although the new audio equipment has now arrived to me, so luckily it came before the end of the week, which is what I was not expecting. So I'm glad about that. But that does mean that hopefully I can do some more downplays. I'm thinking about doing some more Lego Marvel superheroes because I'm getting so far into it now. I'm just getting some really cool characters. So I might just do like a small revisit or something like that. Star Trek Online, as we're getting into the wintry season, has come up with the new Q Adventure. It's going to be the Q Winter Wonderland, as it has been for the last couple of years. But I
was hoping it was going to be some kind of Stephen Fry add-on pack.
You can't even make jokes towards the Star Trek universe. You have no idea what's going on there. It's
with good
from
reason.
now on, it's going to be dealt with in serious tone only on this podcast, and you have no input into it whatsoever. That's it. That's rule. That's a rule. That's going on the board.
You can take it off the board. There's no rules about Star Trek on my board.
Well, that's because you don't have a board.
That's because you don't have a Star Trek.
Nice. Nice.
Touché, monsieur.
So yeah, get the update for that, because that is always good. It's definitely good for a bit of bonus XP and some cool sort of wintry prizes and costumes and stuff like that. Other than that, I can only imagine that all the other MMOs jump into the seasonal swing of things. You know, DC, Defiance, APB, hopefully as well, will have a sort of a Christmassy kind of feel to it. So, you know, snow effects and, you know, Santa hats for all the characters and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully some good stuff coming in from the MMO side of things for the PC world. Other than that, console releases, not too much going on really. I'll be looking at some of those cheaper. No, nothing really. There's
nothing at all.
Some good prices coming on Amazon and some other leading online retailers as well.
Yeah, stop saying retail names.
They're good.
Amazonia.
I'm sure that's probably one as well.
It probably is. Speaking of Christmas, though.
Christmas deals. Definitely try and have a look online as much as you can for Christmas deals.
In the spirit of Christmas, we are giving away an Xbox One. No, we're not. We haven't bought an Xbox One.
And nor will be.
Well, Dan is.
What?
Well,
when did I draw the short straw on that?
Because I've already bought a PS4, so...
I played it before you.
Just to keep up in journalism, like, tones, we need to have both.
Well, that's fine, go and buy another one. Don't buy a Galaxy Note 3, go and get an Xbox instead.
No! I get my Note 3 this month.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you.
Yeah.
If all I had was a fiancé and a baby, I'd be sorted.
Exactly. That's the only reason I'm getting married and I've had a child for. What are you doing? Well, it's our last Christmas, darling. After this, it's all going to be on the little man. So I best get everything I can right now.
Yeah. Well, that's fine, because in like 5 years' time, when the PS5 comes out and it's amazing, you won't be able to buy that.
Oh, well.
You're too busy buying Fisher Price toys.
No, because
I've done it again. Bloody hell.
By that time, I'd be like, what you need to do, you need to go and tell your mum you want a PS5 for Christmas. And then we'll get a PS5.
Yeah, won't work like that.
I mean, he'll get a PS5.
Yeah, of course. He'll be getting a PS3.
No.
You won't know the difference. Heavy rain, letting torture his little mind. It'd be great.
I'm not letting a 5-year-old play Heavy Rain.
Why not? It's powerful, it's...
Because I'd have to buy him a TV then.
Oh, yeah.
He's not using
Anyway.
Yeah, we digress. Yeah, in the spirit of Christmas though, we're still not going to give anything away.
No.
But in the new year, we might start some kind of competition. If we get enough listeners, we get enough participants, we might start just giving things away. I've got a Twix somewhere. I'll save that. I'll give that away.
I've got half a pot of Vaseline, and it's just sort of nothing like that.
No, I'd just like to point out it's like lip balm. It's not just a tub of Vaseline.
Yeah, it's
just
all sorts
lying around
of
the studio for no reason.
So,
although to be fair, just before we go, I sent a text Dan earlier on asked if the microphone had come, and he said yeah, and then sent me a photo of the microphone sent me a photo of the microphone next to some Vaseline, which did throw me a little bit. Hey ho.
It's always exciting to get a new piece of technology delivered to you.
Oh, speaking of technology, just before we actually go, some actual news. A certain retailer, I'm going to say the name, Amazon, is launching Amazon Prime Air, in which a drone will deliver a package to you'll buy something, click Amazon Prime, and then an air drone will deliver it to you in 30 minutes.
Well, as I'm an Amazon Prime member, do I get like a free upgrade or something?
No, it's free. It's just the same. Instead of clicking first class or whatever, you click Amazon Prime Air, and then an air drone just flies from wherever and delivers your parcel to your house in under 30 minutes.
What about if I want to buy an air drone?
Then that air drone will be carried by an air drone. But I can't help but think of just people standing in a field with a gun, just shooting them.
Oh! Just press order.
Done.
Yeah.
But they're currently waiting for approval, and if they get it, it's going to launch as soon as 2015. Excellent. So we'll dig a bit deeper, get into that.
Did you read that in the Daily Mail by chance, or the Sun?
No, this was on a certain technology, a very well credited technology website.
IGN?
Nope.
Well Critics?
Nope.
GameSpot?
No.
Come on.
No.
You just made it up, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Bollocks.
I've not made this up.
You definitely have. Obviously you have. People having packages delivered by air drones. Are you mental?
I'm not mental.
For God's sake.
Right, we're going to go, and I'm going to prove Dan wrong, and on the next episode, which I believe will be at some point in the future, Dan is going to apologise. Yeah.
Hardly likely, but thank you all for joining us yet again.
Fuck off. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Podcast.